Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Houston Element Podcast. You're totally good, love. You're totally good, love. I ain't mad at you. Okay. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce some lovely, lovely, talented cats here today. They are part of the band Crosswalk, and I'm allow them to introduce themselves one by one, if you'd please.
Yeah, you go. I'm Chip. I am the bassist.
My name is Sam. My friends call me Sammy G. I'm the drummer.
I'm Butter. I sing.
I'm Zion. I sing and play guitar.
I'm Remy, and I play guitar and sing.
We're missing Remy.
We're missing Remy.
The frontman of the band.
He right here.
Yeah, but he plays guitar and he sings. He's very cool, and we miss him.
Yeah, and he's Butter's fiance.
Yeah, Butter's fiance.
Yeah, she's taken, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we get married in May, so.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, girl. Spring wedding.
Oh,
Spring
yes.
vibes.
It's going to be nice and colorful.
Oh, yes. But bring your allergy medicine, y'all.
We have the worst allergies, so we're about to be sneezing up there doing our vows.
But you're going to look so beautiful in the midst of it, so it don't even matter.
Thank you. Yeah, we're so excited.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet all of you guys, and you know what? I know Remy couldn't be here today, but that just means we have to do another episode.
Yep.
It's true.
That's exactly what that means.
No. So can you tell us a little bit about yourselves, like y'all selves individually and what the band is like for you, please?
How the band started.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Both had a couple of this.
So, band started. Trying to think how to explain it. Basically, me and Remy, we both do like we already kind of had music careers before Crosswalk started. And I mean, Butter's been making songs for a long time too, but she just doesn't release any of them for some reason. But me and Remy have been doing music about the same time, about like 3 or 4 years. And so we met at our church that has like a college ministry there called Overflow, and that's where I met Remy. And Butter came there a little bit later, and that's where we all met.
Yeah, we all met there.
It's called Overflow. It's the ministry of First Denton in Denton. So Dentonites there. I mean, you guys want to come through the Overflow, bro? Mm-hmm. Definitely do. But yeah, so Remy and I were already doing our thing like musically, and then we met and we actually made a song that's not out yet called Mange. It's a little bit more rock and roll. It'll come out soon. It'll be on the EP, but we made that song before we even started Crosswalk. And then me and Remy made Space Daisy, which actually became a Crosswalk song. It was originally I think I was just going to release it as something. But yeah, our first song, Space Daisy, we made that. And then, I mean, by that time, Butter was already kind of like in our lives and like, one of my really good friends at least. And she was always talking about like starting a band. And I kind of always wanted to start a band as well. Just because like, I feel like at least with me, like being the lead guitarist works really well because like it's something that I understand a lot more than any other instrument. So I feel like at least for me as an artist, I always kind of wanted to have a band so that I would have, other people to bounce off of like creatively, and that's something that I need as a person as well, like other people with me while I'm on stage and things like that. And I think Remy is the same way. And so like me and Remy already kind of had musical chemistry, and like Butter and all of us kind of have like this weird like understanding of like what we're doing musically all the time. Definitely like a God thing. He's always like keeping us on the same page and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we kind of recognized that the first time we all jammed together as a band. And interesting enough, Sammy G actually wasn't our drummer for a little bit. He wasn't our drummer until about 2 months into whenever we started.
Yeah, let's say like 2 months.
I had another friend also named Sam who also drums.
Yeah.
And he was drumming. He kind of still is our drummer. He's like our secondary drummer. But he was our primary drummer at first. It's just a little bit harder for him to come up to Denton because he lives in Fort Worth. And that's where I'm from. And so it's just a little bit of a drive for him to always make it to practice. And I mean, Sammy G he's up here and, you know, able to make it to practice and stuff and make it to our gigs and stuff. Easier. So we went ahead and I mean, now Sam's like our main drummer. But whenever we first started drumming, other Sam was our drummer. I'm not drumming, practicing and stuff. Other Sam was our main drummer, and
he's writing a book.
No, go. See, bro.
Yo, bro, y'all got me off track.
I'm sorry.
Dang.
We're getting confused. There's like two Sams.
Yeah, there's two Sams.
We got Sam and Sammy.
We got Sam and Sammy G.
Yeah.
This is Sammy G.
That's Sammy G.
They're both extremely talented. Both named Sam. Both drum. And but yes, this is our Sammy G. But yeah, we all Gabe pretty much said it. Like he said, there was like this like chemistry that it just happened. I mean, like I remember the first time we all played together, and it was kind of crazy just because we were like, oh, wait, this isn't half bad, and it just somebody will do something and another person picks up off of it, and it just flows the whole entire time, and everybody's just going crazy, and then we're like, oh, a song.
Yeah, actually, me and Zion met at a what's it called? A mission trip called Beach Reach, and I think a lot of the like chemistry comes from like off road. Like me and Zion just started talking about music, and I think we've always bonded over music, but like down in Beach Reach, it was just like a mission trip for like helping people spread the gospel, and like me and Zion would just like wake up every morning and like play guitar together, and it was really fun. And then I was like, I played bass, so I was like, well, I'll play bass. Do y'all need a bass player? And I was just being like, just for fun, you know what I mean? And the first time, like they were saying, like the first time we met, it was just like really, really awesome. Like that, you can tell like the Lord really brought us together, and it was like for the good. And it was really, really, really cool.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, bro. It was dope. I really, and I think I have it on video. Like it was, I'm not even kidding. It was insane. Like just sitting back because I sing. So when we're like doing jam sessions, I just kind of chill and like watch the boys bounce off of each other. And it was just really good. It was really magical. It was awesome. It was great. But yeah.
What an age to live in where you can record those kind of moments, you know, and then look back, you know, a month, 2 months, a year, and you're like, look at where we were. Like, look at what we're doing now. Like, that's incredible, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we need to find that.
Yeah, I mean, I got it on download. I got it right. Click.
So what about you, Sammy G? So how has your experience been in the band thus far?
It's been really rad. I mean, I love all these guys. They're some of my best friends. Yeah, legit. They're some of my best friends, and I've really loved playing with them. I mean, yeah, because they asked me to play for a show. Where was that? It was at the Decatur show. So yeah, we played a show in Decatur, like just before Butter was like hardcore singing with the band.
Yeah.
And I think we did like one practice or something.
We did like two.
Yeah.
No, I think it was one, bro.
It was something ridiculous. Yeah, like it wasn't a lot, but I mean, I had heard the tracks, and I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have been blessed with, you know, a pretty solid musical background. So I've been playing drums for quite some time, and then I got to join all these guys. I mean, it's been really nothing but good. I mean, yeah, I just love playing with the band.
Yes.
Awesome, man. And I mean, and I love that y'all are so aware that you're like, no, it's not just a coincidence that we're all talented. We know our parts. It's a vibe. Okay. Mm-hmm. There is a purpose involved. The universe said, let there be Crosswalk. I love that.
I agree.
So can you tell us what was the inspiration behind the name Crosswalk, and what is the big inspiration behind your lyrics and your music style?
That's on you.
It's on you.
Zion and I don't know if we remember the same story.
Yeah.
We don't, because I remember us sitting in the car. Am I triggered? No, was it where we were on the square? Okay, anyway. We were on the square. We were like, what should we call our band? And then what happened? You tell it better. Where do you go?
This is how I know my story is right. I don't remember it. Look, bro. So I wasn't in the car. I was at work, and they called me while I was at work. I think I still worked at
Domino's, bro.
No, I worked at Ross. I worked at Ross this time.
Whoa.
No, you worked.
That was a lot.
I didn't work at Domino's. I was working at Ross. Anyways, I was at work, and Remy and Butter were in the car. I think it was the Sunday. Remy and Butter were in the car, and they were near. I don't think y'all were at the square. I think y'all were near the loop. I think she was near the loop, and they were talking to me, and Butter was on, because y'all were at Barnes and Noble. I remember that, and so, Butter's talking to me, and she's like, "What are we gonna call the band, man?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know." And then she looks at, she thinks, she's like, "What brought us all together?" And so what brought us all together, of course, was God, was Jesus Christ. And so, but I was like, we can't just call it Christ. I mean, we could, but you know what I'm saying? That would just be kind of weird band name, I guess. Yeah, kind of like level one blasphemy, low key. But she
You're going to jail.
but then she looks at like a crosswalk, and she's like crosswalk, because it's like he died on the cross, rose again.
We're carrying up our cross.
Yeah, but it's also like crosswalk, it was cool. And then I heard it, and I was like, bro, that's it. And then we kind of just ran with it. The band really didn't even start for a month after that.
Oh, it was like 2 months after.
Yeah,
we just did that, and we were like, always would play with the idea of actually starting the band, and just kind of be like, oh yeah, like Crosswalk, we could do that for Crosswalk. And then just never, I mean, we didn't even, at that point, we didn't have a drummer and we didn't have a bassist. So it was just like, we were just messing with the idea, doing music like in the background, just recording. And then finally one day, Gabe was like, I'm going to do, or let's do a show. And and we were like, okay.
Garage show.
And then our backyard show. We did our first show. And that was it. That's when it actually, I would say that's when we started. And it was so fun. Yeah, it was dope. But now we're here.
So how was that first show, man? Like first ever, the broke the ice, the mic drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think it was so awesome because we only had 6 songs planned. And it was just really awesome because we were stressing that whole day because we had if there's one thing to know about us, I'm getting my phone. If there's one thing to know about us, we're not on time. We never have anything together. It's by the grace of God that we've ever played a show. Every time.
So right.
Every time we are playing a show, we're this is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. It's just been so crazy. But we played those 5 songs or 6 songs, and it was so crazy because the crowd was play more. Every song, every other song, or every song we played, they were another one.
Yes.
And it was just really cool because we were maybe they won't like it, and then because me and Zion were talking, we were they'll like it, but obviously we have nerves.
Yeah.
So it was just awesome. That first show was literally so fun, and it was amazing.
I want to add on to it by saying 2 things. One, also, like, it was crazy that God blessed us with Sammy G because he is the most organized of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always on point with everything. Oh, guys, let's sit down and talk about this so we can make sure this is ready. Oh, let's make a list about that. It was awesome that he came in and just, it was great. God bless us with Sammy G. And plus he's dope at the drums. But also, I will say the first show, I was freaking out because I had never sang in front of like people before except for the boys, and I barely sang in front of you guys. Like, it was like a little bit. So when Zion was like, showtime, we were like, oh. And then I ended up having like an asthma attack afterwards. Because we were outside also, and I have horrible allergies. So I had an asthma attack. It was crazy. But still, from that perspective, it was good to appreciate, like, oh, these people actually are enjoying what they're seeing. Like, even though it was our first time, we weren't like on point with everything. We were a little like rocky, but it was dope because it was just chemistry, and it was really nice. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, continue. You're good.
I was just gonna say, at one point, like, the sound just stopped. Like, all of the sounds.
Okay.
Oh, it's this guy.
Yeah, it was my fault a little bit. It was my fault a little.
I was so heated, bro. In my mind, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Because at that time, Sammy G was still like, he still did stuff for Crosswalk. Like, he kind of like helped us with power and like sound and stuff.
I organized. I helped get the equipment for that show. And then our good friend Sveva was the one that was helping on the sound mixing. Shout out to Sveva for real.
Shout out Sveva.
Yeah. The board cut out. Like they had been setting up. They had been setting up for like all day. Like,
and this man said, "I'm gonna unplug this cord that's on everything."
I don't understand how the power stopped because
because he just plugged everything in.
That's good. That's what I'm saying. Like, the cord. I plugged something in. Like, I didn't unplug anything.
He plugged the unpowered cord.
Yeah.
Everything turned off.
Yeah, everything turned off.
Everything turned off, and that was the fun problem because it was an analog board. So then,
I do remember this.
So it was an analog board. So whenever the power went out, all the work that Sveva had done, gone. Almost instantly. All of it was gone. So then
Justin to the rest.
Well, so it was Justin and Sveva doing wizardry, and they set up the whole board again, like, for the show in like less than an hour.
It was crazy.
Right before
it was like 20 minutes. They got it done.
Yeah, it was quick. Yeah, it felt like forever, but
it was super scary.
Oh gosh. Yeah. You got to be careful with analog stuff. I mean, there's a saying in live sound, you cannot record on enough devices. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And like, if you're going to go analog, because I love the sound too, you know what I'm saying? Then you need to have your little notepad and take it old school, write down all your stuff, because baby.
Yeah.
God bless your sound engineers and your production team and y'all all working together to make that come together. Cause I've been there.
Yeah.
And the worst thing, they're like, I can't hear anything. And they're all looking at you like, oh,
yeah. I think they're definitely like underselling the concert because I got to see it from just an audience perspective, and they killed it. They were so good, and because like 80 people showed up or something.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. It was literally in a backyard, and 80 people.
We put 80 people in a backyard, and rocked out. It was like. I think you said it was like 6 songs or something like that.
That was like my favorite.
Yeah, they had like 6 songs or something, but then everybody was like more, and so then they just started like playing stuff that like hadn't even practiced, and they killed it too. Yeah, you're playing like Remy stuff and silent stuff, and it was super good.
Flat trap.
Yeah, it was so good. They really killed it.
That's rock and roll, man. You know, like that's, and for that being y'all's first show, you know, and having such a great, you know, turnout and said like rock and roll was destiny.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Sorry.
So can y'all tell us a little bit more about the instruments and the vocals that you do? And do you have like a certain technique that you like to use that adds to your sound?
Ooh,
That's actually a good question.
I like the fact that Zion, me, and Remy, I mean, it's not the biggest or like craziest thing ever, but we're all self-taught instrumentalists. And also, I feel like you were self-taught too, right?
A little bit. I technically come from a like traditional percussion background. I did drumline and all of that. But I did teach myself how to play drum set.
Yeah.
That one I didn't learn at school.
Yeah, that's dope.
I'm actually not that self-taught. So whenever I started music, our producer now, his name is Andy. Shout out Andy U. Everybody, he makes music himself.
Yeah,
he's actually way bigger than us, and he's really good producer, really good engineer. If you want to have somebody else on this podcast, hit up Andy U. Andy U Music on Instagram. That's our guy. YU.
Yeah.
But he actually taught me how to play guitar at first, and he kind of just taught me a lot of like the simple stuff, like just bar chords, open chords. Here comes
Bubbles. Bubbles making an introduction.
Hey,
Bubbles.
This is Colton's dog.
Come here, buddy.
But he taught me guitar at first, and then with the stuff he kind of taught me, I kind of like, yeah. So but yeah, he taught me just like the basic stuff that I needed to know just to make like music on my own, and I wasn't like super good. But after that, I came to Denton and I went to UNT, and I took a jazz guitar like class at UNT, and that's kind of how I went.
You did that?
Yeah, I took one. I took one for a semester.
I didn't know that. Cool.
And that's kind of how I learned music theory, like kind of basic stuff. And then, I mean, from there, I'm pretty much self-taught. Like most of the things I've learned since then, since like 2 years ago when I took that class, is kind of just watching Remy and watching Colton do stuff on guitar. Because Colton's our bassist, but he is one of the gnarliest guitarists I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I promise you
He's insane.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. Yeah.
So humble about it too.
Yeah, extremely. Yeah, I want to say, because I don't play an instrument in the band, and they every one of them, like all the boys, have their own sound, like so distinct. So it's like crazy that when they play together, how they all kind of like the fluidity of it. It just like, it's like a puzzle piece. It's so nice. And
because I feel like I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I feel like there's so much feel with our instruments too. Like I genuinely love playing bass.
Yes.
Like a lot. Like I think I love playing bass more than guitar in a band setting. But Remy is just so talented in the fact that he can sing and play those crazy chords.
Yeah.
And like his pocket is insane.
Yeah.
He's the only person I don't hear like mess up like ever, besides like Sam. Sam's really a pocket too.
Yeah.
But what makes a good musician is like you can like fix your mistake. Like you like the crowd doesn't hear your mistake. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's like all of us kind of low key, because like Zion hasn't been playing about only like 3 years, and he's like awesome. Like his solos are really, 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 really good, because like he just there's feel to it. Like it's like speaking.
It's organic.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's there, and all of you are that way. It's absolutely insane. And
plus none of us use picks, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, which is kind of dope though, because
it has that weird
there's like occasional pick action, like very rare. Like, oh, I brought a pick today. Slay.
That jazz.
But that's so
jazz background.
Yeah, it's very rare. But they do learn from each other. You'll just see them, like Zion will learn from Chip, and Chip will learn from Remy, and Remy will learn from Zion, and just every other direction. And especially with Chip having played for longer than Zion and Remy, goodbye. Sorry. I see him in the mirror.
I don't know what to blow his nose.
I know. We can
Oh,
just hear
thing.
He's reviving that thing. No, but they will just absolutely just constantly teaching each other and learning from each other. And Sammy G picks up like the rhythm so quickly. Like he'll just create it and everyone will slowly follow along. And then if something happens and the boys are trying to learn off each other, then Sammy G's like, oh, and then it's great. It's honestly really awesome.
All really blessed with understanding.
Yes. It's for people who literally have come from different places to all like come together. Oh, all become best friends because we're all best friends too. Like we are all like these are my best friends, and because we're all focused on Christ. We have true, genuine love for one another and care about each other. And yeah, we're able to do that because we follow God.
I think our what is it called? I forgot the word that Zion used a while ago. Chemistry comes from being friends first. Like being really true friends first. I think it comes from that.
And we have respect for one another. There's respect. There's nobody's trying to show someone out. Nobody's trying to like, oh, I'm the top. It's all very humble. And I feel like we all want someone to have their own time, like if like with Chip soloing or Sammy G soloing or Gabe soloing or Remy. And it's just all very, very nice it's so together. It's so nice. But yeah, sorry. I just go on talks all day about these
no.
boys.
You good, honey. You can never piss me off by talking about art. Okay, let's just get that straight right now. Okay, all day long, the art, anime, baby, please. Let's talk. Okay. Two things though. First of all, wash your mouth out with soap, young lady, because you are the instrument. As a vocalist, you are the instrument. Okay,
it's true.
So this whole thing right here, this whole diaphragm thing, baby, you are the instrument. Okay, you walk around with the notepad, you walk around with the tuner, you walk around with the bass. I mean,
yeah, her writing ability, all their writing ability is insane.
Yeah,
it's like
Butter, Remy, and Zion basically write all of the music that we do. Colton's working on some stuff, and it's going to be killer too. But they do like all of the lyrical content, all of the musical content. Like they are the ones that are like really putting it together.
Wow.
So Butter's going to undersell herself hardcore because she's like super talented, legit.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Butter, we wouldn't have some songs. Like we wouldn't have songs. Like,
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't have songs, and then this is even what like I remember us saying back for the Decatur show because that was the second show
That was
okay. That was the second show Crosswalk had played. That was the first show I had played. Butter didn't sing for that one.
So mid.
Yeah, the show sucked. It was terrible.
No, it was so good.
No, I'm playing. The show was really good. It was a fun time. But I remember saying it's one of those things where it's like we can all like if it's just like the guys and we're playing and stuff, we sound good. We're definitely not bad. But man, yeah, whenever Butter joins in and she starts singing, it's just like I don't know. It's like the seasoning to the meal. Like it's like it's like seriously, that's what it is. It's like adding some ponies onto something.
Add butter.
Yeah, add butter. Add butter. Adding butter into the meal, and it just tastes so much better to my ears. Yeah.
We're no, let me not say bread, bro.
I feel you 100%, man. I feel 100%. Like music and food. Those are the top sensations you're gonna remember. Those are associated.
I think I consistently think about music and food.
Yeah,
like all the time. I think that's the only thing I think about other than Christ.
Well, they kind of go in tune, you know what I'm saying? Faith and art, you know what I'm saying? And that's two of the most purest things out there, Think about it, you have your Sunday brunches or dinners, you always remember eating those special meals with your loved ones, you know what I'm saying? And then going to shows and you remember who you went with and how it made you feel, So that's beautiful, man.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That was a good way to put it. That was a really nice way to put it.
I love that. I love that, man. So let's talk about these little gems you've been leaving for us. Okay, you got 3 singles y'all released in 2022 called "Kimmie's Lawn," "Stand Still," and "Space Daisy," which we were talking about a little bit earlier. So, what was the inspiration behind those tracks?
Man,
It's these guys.
you want to start off with Space Daisy?
Dang, bro. Man, okay, Space Daisy. Like I said, it was kind of a song that I had in like kind of in the like I always wanted a song called Space Daisy for some reason. I don't know why. Like, but since I started playing guitar and like making, I guess, indie music and stuff, I always kind of wanted a song like that. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of like lyrically what the inspiration for it was, because I know at least like production wise, whenever I made it, I really kind of wanted it to sound super like 80s, like indie pop type stuff. And so, and I think we captured that pretty well, at least. But writing wise, whenever I was writing it, a lot of times, at least with my writing process, I now kind of write more from like I think like personal perspectives, but like sometimes I'll write and kind of like try and like make almost like a world with like the ideas I'm trying to put out there. And so with Space Daisy, it was kind of just like this idea of like, what if there's this girl who's like you're trying to get to, but she's like really, really like far, you know? And so the idea was like she's like almost like alien, like somebody from space. And so that's kind of what I texted Remy whenever I sent him the beat. I was like, it's this idea of like, well, actually, that did come from personal experience because I was talking to somebody at that time who lived kind of a long ways away. But so that was kind of the idea behind Space Daisy, at least for me. And then Remy, of course, wrote his verse about butter. So yeah. I mean, yeah, that was Space Daisy. It was cool. It was cool writing that.
Yeah. And then Stand Still, me and Remy were so I started playing guitar almost a year ago. It's been almost a year because I was around the boys and like, I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of like, I had a guitar for years and never touched it. And then I was like, man, this looks really cool. I really want to learn. So I started, like Remy started teaching me little chords and Zion would teach me them. And so Remy was teaching me a chord and I don't know how to strum that well. I can only pick. And so I was just kind of like he taught me this chord. I don't even know what it was. And so I started playing like the very first chord of Stand Still. And so I was like, let's record this. Yeah. And so we started recording it. And then I do this thing and it's really annoying and I get pooped on for it because I can't play an instrument that well, I have to like sing what I want it to sound like. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like I do it all the time. So I'll be like, no, play this. And I have to sing it so that they'll hear what I'm saying. And so I didn't know how to play the guitar and I heard it so much and I don't know how to use like record on the computer that well. Mm-hmm. So I told him how I wanted the drums to sound and how I wanted the guitar to sound. And Remy just like completely copied and pasted it from out of my mouth. Like he's very good at understanding that.
His ear is ridiculous.
His ear is absolutely insane. And he was able to just mimic exactly what I was doing. And the song came out exactly how I heard it in my brain. It was insane. And he's so talented. But so, and then I just kind of wrote the song about how him and I grew up from different like backgrounds basically. And then how we are coming together and like, because it says that we're fighting against what we call home, but together we'll learn to build our own. So we're like learning to build our own. We're getting married and yada yada, and now we're going to have a marriage that is Christ-centered. So it's completely different from how I grew up. So it's just, yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then Kimmie's Lawn was a fun one because we were driving to the studio. We had no idea what we were going to record. No clue. And we were like 5 minutes away. Our friend was like telling us this story, and we were like, and then he goes, Kimmie, won't you open the door? I whip out my notes, and I was like, and then we get there, and then Zion and Andy, like we told Andy, and then he does his little Andy magic, and Zion starts just writing. And like he writes so fast. I've never seen someone write as fast as this guy, and it all makes sense and it flows so well. And and then the song just came about, and then we loved it. And yeah. You want to add on anything? Because it made no sense.
Yeah. I'll tell the full.
Yeah, you tell the full story. Yeah.
So basically, our friend Dawson, he liked this girl named Kimmie. Obviously. So, Kimmie moved like really, really far away. It's kind of like a little like Space Daisy, but instead it was like super super real world. Like this actually happened. Like she moved like really, really far. She moved to a different state than we say in the song, but we said a different state so that it would be a little bit more ambiguous. But she moved away like in the middle of like them talking or something like that. And it was kind of just a thing of like it's kind of like you always wonder like what could have happened, if she just stayed and like they continued talking and stuff like that. And so it's like we wrote this story like what if Dawson like drove to where she moved to and like stood outside her lawn and
yeah. So, that was definitely a better way to explain. I'm a horrible storyteller. They're way better. Like I get so off track, but that was a better way to say it.
Yeah, you did a good job. It was pretty accurate.
One's the story of the song. One's the like story of how of the song.
Yeah. So it was insane. And then we ended up absolutely, and we were just writing the song as we were recording. So like Zion had his verse, and while he was recording his verse, me and my friend Holly were just like sitting in the back, just being like, and then I was like, what if we write it from Kimmie's perspective? And so
actually what she's telling is, cause we actually wrote Kimmie in two different studio sessions.
We did?
Yeah. Cause the original one, Dawson was there, but whenever Holly was there, Dawson was there. That was at like night. We didn't get out of the studio until like 4.
Bro, I thought that was the same day.
No. Because we went to Overflow on Tuesday and we went to Denton.
So right. I'm so wrong. He's right. She's
not that wrong. It was just different days.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it took 2 different sessions for you to finish Kimmie's Lawn. Was that because of the lyrics that you wanted to finish, the melody, or?
It took Andy not a super long time, but it took him quite a bit of time to like fully produce the song.
Yeah.
And at least at that time, like both of us were a little bit uncomfortable writing to songs that weren't fully produced. Like, I don't know, it's something about like the beat being done that like helps me write more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's agreed.
And so Andy had to finish producing the song, and then we kept adding like little like things here and there. And so we actually, I think in that first session, we wrote the chorus, but we also wrote like all the pre-chorus stuff and like all the like shout stuff, like the traveling through Michigan, like we did all of that stuff. And then the second session, we wrote both of our verses.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's how that went.
Yeah, it was so fun though. I'll tell you, because we were just screaming into the mic. Like at one point, we were all just like in different parts of the room, just yeah, it was dope. Yeah. But yeah, those are the songs.
Excellent. Now I kind of want to circle back to a question. This is a kind of a hot topic for some string instrumentalists, excuse me. So y'all mentioned that y'all string instrumentalists don't like to use picks. Is that correct?
It just honestly, it depends. Like I I didn't whenever I started guitar, I didn't use a pick. I just strummed, and whenever I started soloing, because I have trouble, and I still do. I have trouble doing alternate picking. Mm-hmm. So it's like whenever you pick down and you pick up and then you pick down. And so I just learned to use my thumb because like that's just like it was just easier for me to control that. And so I'm actually trying to pick up like using picks a lot more now just because of like all the differences in tone and stuff you can get with using a pick. But I don't pick with, I solo and stuff with my thumb. Remy doesn't really do solos that often, but with his rhythm stuff, like he finger picks and he's really, really good.
He's cold.
Yeah.
He's cold.
So yeah, and I can't really speak for Colton at least. I don't really know.
I can't.
I can feel it with my fingers better. Like with the pick, I can't feel where I'm at. So like when you're using it, because I only use these two fingers, so I can feel what string I'm on, and it just makes more sense. Because I learned that way. Because I played bass first, and then I went to guitar, then I went back to bass. So honestly, you can just feel the string better. That's pretty much it.
I didn't know that actually.
That's my argument too. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to take it out of the PG realm, but playing an instrument is like making love. You know what I'm saying? It is called sins of the flesh for a reason. Okay, you want to feel that thing. You want to caress. You want to have a relationship with it. So when I use a pick, I'm like, it feels like I'm like touching somebody with one of those like extender grab arms. I'm like, this doesn't feel right, like what, like, am I gonna shake somebody's hand with like a fake hand? That's what it feels like to me. So
that's so fair.
But yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
None.
What did you say, bro?
I said the gazelles.
Oh my gosh.
Read Song of Solomon. Read a gospel first, and then go read Song of Solomon.
Oh my gosh, bro,
that's what biblical love looks like.
Hilarious, bro.
So for the percussionist, I have a question for you, Mr. Sammy G. Okay, because I'm ignorant on this subject. Okay, when it comes for your technique, because I'm not a percussionist. I'm barely a guitarist, keyboardist. Okay. What is the deal when it comes to like the sticks and the different kind of cymbals? What is it? What are the kind of that you like for your personal set to make your sound?
So at least right now we're using an electric kit right now because that's what we have access to. We're working on acquiring funds so that we can get an acoustic kit and we'll get cymbals and everything. As like for sticks and stuff, it kind of just depends. I mean, the sticks will really change the tone of what really all of the set's going to sound like. When was it? We played a house show not too long ago, and we got to use an acoustic kit for that. Yeah, in November. We got to use an acoustic kit for that because that's what the other band had already set up. And we got to use some brushes. And then I think I used some power rods, which that one, it still allows for some good punch, but it's a little quieter, so you don't have to play as loud. I like playing with brushes a lot, but I guess that's also because
you have a lot of hair.
Yeah, I got a lot of hair. No, I like some like smaller performance settings, so it's a little bit quieter and I can have some more dynamic with it. And then for the cymbals, it kind of just depends. I guess it just depends on like the set we're playing and stuff. Like I really like Hanging on the Ride a lot, just because I like the tone of the ring. And then and whenever we get an acoustic set, I really want to get I forget what it's called. They have like these like clip-ons for your cymbals that have like a bead chain go on, so it has a bit more of a sizzle to it. I love how it sounds. Cool, right? I certainly am not. I'm not a jazz drummer, but I'm very heavily influenced by that. So that's kind of the sound that I usually like to go for.
I can imagine, because, Zion mentioned too, he took a little bit of jazz, music class before as well, and then y'all having your involvement in the church. Y'all got that classical ear and that jazz ear, and that like Lethal and Weapon, Smith and Wesson. Okay, like dangerous. Okay, because y'all got that rhythm. You have that music theory. I mean, it all derives from, those are two of the most strongest genres that you'll see it derive from today. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's by the grace of God that we're all able to have all of the different skills. Because I mean, I suck at music theory. I'm really bad at it. I've tried to learn it, and I just can't. But we all have the individual talents. I mean, just like Butter was saying, it puzzle pieces together so well. That's all God right there.
Absolutely.
Faith and art. I mean, what else do you need? What else do you need? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can cook it, you can make music with it, you can feel it, you can wear it. I mean, put some tape on it, make it feel. It's the duct tape of life.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Facts.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. This was really nice, and it's nice to I feel like for even our us as a band to kind of dissect and be really grateful for having each other and just be like, man, wow, you actually get to talk about each person's role, and it's just wow, and I have a lot more appreciation for everybody now after dissecting it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I love, to pick artists' brain to learn about their different technique. Because I mean, I've seen some things at some shows, baby, that I'm just like, I'm like, there's nothing but sunshine coming out of this person, but all they're doing is just I'm like, what? So I always love to hear different people's input, because they're just like, oh, well, man, I just feel it. And just, then Jimi Hendrix comes out, and I'm like,
that's Zion.
Literally.
Zion, bro.
Yeah, Chip.
Yeah.
Me when I'm Zion.
Well, do you guys have any last bit of advice for the listeners?
If you're learning your instrument, don't take yourself too seriously, and just have fun with it, and just understand that you're gonna mess up and fail, and that it's not all about having fun with it. Literally, that's if we don't have fun, we're not. I don't think if we didn't have as much fun as we did playing, we wouldn't be playing. We have so much fun with each other. So it's not about the big stuff or what it looks like. It's just about playing and having fun.
Also, that this is none of our doing, not at all. We would not be in our position or having this interview or be chilling in Chip's house if it wasn't for the Lord. So all glory to Him for realsies.
Christ is Lord.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jesus is Lord.
I think I'd like to say, as far as instrumentalists and stuff go, I think this applies in life as well, but just be teachable. I think a lot of people sometimes whenever they start doing something, whenever I first picked up guitar and I got kind of good, I thought that I knew everything, which is insane, because I to this day I don't. I'm probably a 2 on a scale of 10 of guitars, but always there's always somebody who's going to be able to teach you something on your instrument specifically. There's so much knowledge out there, and for you to be so arrogant to think that you don't need to listen to somebody, or you don't need to learn from somebody else, you can just teach yourself everything. It's just, you're just hurting yourself in the long run. So just be teachable.
Don't hold yourself back from your potential of an artist. Don't humble yourself a little bit and be able to have mentors. Because
I consider, at least now, I consider Colton and Remy my mentors and stuff on guitar. And so have people around you that you feel like are better than you and are like pushing you towards being better.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. That's good advice.
Yeah.
From both of you.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you have to give advice.
Yeah, I'll give one. Okay. Yeah, I think I'd say. I guess it's probably like more of a general thing. I'll go with two things. Definitely, like be friends first. Because I mean, you can be successful if it's just a business, but I mean, I don't think like our like goal is success. It's not. That's not what it's about. It's just about. I mean, showing God's love and being able to play together and have fun.
Yeah.
So that definitely like have that be a main priority because it makes the experience just so much fun, especially for the people in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that people can really tell like whenever people can really tell whenever like a band's having fun and like they know each other. And then I think the kind of general advice I think still applies is just don't plan things out too much. Too much. Expect hiccups. Expect things to change.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, because that's been my whole semester. Like I wasn't expecting to be playing with Crosswalk, and I'm very blessed that I'm able to now. And things are definitely continuing to change all over the place. But the Lord's got a better plan, and just follow that for sure.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Very well said. Very well said. You could do anything you want in Christ except try somebody, okay? Okay? When you're surrounded by love and art, you can't try none of this, honey. You can enjoy it, but you can't try it.
There you go.
Okay? You come into the kitchen, you best be buying, honey, okay? All right.
Also, keep out for very soon because we're gonna drop an EP. And next 2023.
Yeah, it should be.
I can't believe this is going to be 2023.
January.
Yeah,
We should be dropping the EP in January. We're working on hopefully today starting to record. We're gonna. I think the plan is we're gonna re-record over the tracks we've already released, so it sounds a little bit more close to how our live sound is. But we're doing that. We're working on the EP. That'll be out in January, and then far distant plans.
like a year.
And it's like 6
months.
6 to 8 months. We'll after we get the EP out because we've got all of our songs down. We'll be working on like an album material, so a lot more tracks, which we're already on the way. And then if Lord bless us and it works out, we want to do a small Texas tour and go around to some different places. H-Town, we'll be heading to H-Town for sure. But we'll see where the Lord takes us for sure.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I'm excited to hear y'all's new EP. I'm looking forward to it. And definitely, if y'all do a Texas tour or, even if not, it's a weekend, I run sound at my church on Sundays. So it's like, as long as I can be back before I have to run service, I can take a little drive to Denton, it's not that far. You know what I'm saying? Not that far to rock out, you know what I'm saying? For good tunes, wouldn't you make the drive?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, show on the 29th at Andy's Bar in Denton. We're playing with a bunch of other cool bands.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Again, that is December 29th. Okay. And we're going to leave the information in the comments for the promo flyer. So that way y'all know what's up. You know what I'm saying? So you can go check it out. Okay.
Yeah.
But remember, learn from humility. She's not that bad. She going to teach you some stuff. Okay. All right. Eat your humble pie because, it's not just for Thanksgiving. It's year round. All right. And love something greater than yourself, man, because you're pretty awesome, but there's a reason for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very.
Love someone greater.
All right. And appreciate those that are around you because that's not a coincidence either.
Oh.
Come on.
Pony's down. Chip
Did you steal
stole my pony. Buddy, it's okay. I don't
They're
mind.
geeking. Oh my goodness.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. And thank you, Crosswalk, for sharing this knowledge and wisdom with us, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. We
Yes,
really
thank you
appreciate it.
so much. You're awesome. You've been so great. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it. Seriously.
And we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Yes. God bless you.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. And we'll talk to you
Yes.
guys next week. Peace.